You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and now streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Glee. Tonight's host is Paul Ashton. Joining Paul will be AFTERBUZZ co-hosts Kat Bailess and Tamara Berg. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Glee news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. 1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, Paul Ashton.
Thank you very much, Rich, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and Gleeks out there to Glee Season 2, Episode 16 for AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight titled Original Song, and what a musical episode it was. A real return to form in every way for the show for me. Really enjoyable. Of course, you kind of wish that every episode could be originals, but then of course it would lose its impact. But it is so great when the whole episode is dominated by the music. We're seeing a lot of dancing. It just feels like what the show was born to do.
It started off with the music. I was like, wait, did the show just start?
Did we miss something,
right? Yeah. But I mean, oh my God, like no better way to start a show than Blaine and Blaine singing,
Let's get straight into it, Jess, on the TV here. For those of you who are podcasting at home, we have the flat screen in with us, and we'll have the show replaying along with our show tonight. And the show started in a great place with music, with the Warblers, doing a really classic Maroon 5 hit, Misery.
And you know what? I felt like this was so much better than that rafter dance they did last week. Remember, we're like, this is pointless with the bubbles and stuff. They topped this. They topped last week.
It was sort of doing what they do best.
Yeah.
There were no sort of, everything was clearly executed. It was clear from the start that Kurt wasn't quite into it, and we didn't quite know why.
Right.
And Darren, Blaine, Darren Criss did his thing that he does so well, and it led to something that we've talked about a lot on this show that we've been wondering, when would it come up? It was that, that Chris Colfer hasn't been doing that much singing. Now,
right.
Well, this answers our question.
Do you think it's been purely a writing a tool, like they've intentionally from the start written it in so that it can move toward this moment? Or is this a convenient way of the writers dealing with
fans calling in going, yes.
Why isn't Kurt singing anymore?
Well, we don't know. We should go ask Ryan Murphy.
We don't, but I do have a bit of a spoiler alert that I found the other day.
Yay!
And I don't know if we want to be giving this away right up at the top of the show, but might as well.
Right, let's talk about it.
I read that Kurt is not going to be with the Warblers for long.
Well, I kind of feel that makes sense to me because as we know, what happened at the end of the show is that these boys are not going to be in nationals,
right?
But New Directions are, and where's Kurt?
He's going to have to sing.
He's going to have to sing with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, let's save that for predictions later.
Awesome.
We'll have a think about how that might play itself out.
Absolutely.
But here we're still looking at the song. We have this nice little bit of hopping around dancing.
I like the geography in this. They're boys.
And I loved it when they really broke it down, and I just loved it.
It was a really good number.
The Stomp thing, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's seen Stomp, right?
Right.
The musical?
Yeah.
When they beat on stuff.
Yeah.
That's me, everybody out there in Radio Land. That's me beating on the desk. But I just thought it was original. We haven't really seen that.
It felt to me like We Will Rock You by Queen.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It had a bit of that to it. And I felt like all the kids could really get into it. Then, of course, Kurt's got his canary, which...
Pavarotti.
Pavarotti.
I just call him paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
Yeah.
Pavarotti.
Little Pavarotti, not quite as fat as the original Luciano, but anyway, Kurt confronts Blaine here with, as the show goes to break. Oh no, it cuts straight here. Anyway, confronts him with saying, "Look, you get all of the solos, all of the attention.
Sick of being Blaine and the Pips.
Always top, right?
Loved it.
And it was really great that they owned it either way. Like, who knows what the motivation was for this piece of writing, but it was important that it was acknowledged, and it of course leads to seeing some great stuff further down that we'll come to as the show does. We, of course,
this
then
is our first original
move
song.
into the second song of the show within 5 minutes. Fantastic stuff. Rachel's second original called "Only Child." And I do have to say I am a big fan of the way that they've really owned the kind of the like really silly little things that the kids all write about in their songs. Like, all of them have a thing particular to the character, but they're not trying to be grandiose. They save that for the nice anthems
For the
at
finale.
the end.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it makes it so funny, and I tell you, it's going to sell CDs, isn't it? It's kind of clever. I mean, we'll come to the other songs when we come to them, but for a start, this stuff about being the only child, not, there's no need for 2 bunk beds in this room. What was the line?
Damn you, dads.
Damn you, dads.
Plural. If you don't know out there, she's got 2 gay dads.
Really, really funny stuff.
Wait, and then it said, "Sister, brother, where art thou?" Because she's an only child, and so she said she's the only berry on the family tree.
It was.
It's beautiful.
Classic.
Girls, that was
Beautiful sentiment.
May I just compliment you on the synchronicity of that line delivery? We have a jinx in the room.
We do.
Then, of course, Finn is, he's quite diplomatic in the way that he deals with letting her down easy, but saying that she's on the right track. And then, of course, there's
Don't you feel
Finn.
like his cockiness has gone away?
It has.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm liking him more. He's back to the old Finn,
Yep.
thank God.
That whole
and what
passage.
is up with her? She's like,
I know.
make a bitch.
Single white
I'm
female.
talking about
kind of
Quinn, y'all.
Scary. We saw a real cold, dark side to her tonight. I actually got to say, I thought Diana Agron brought it pretty well.
She did. And this whole tiara situation right here.
Yeah.
What did you think? This was all in voiceover. She does this voiceover section here. What did that work for you guys?
It worked for me.
It absolutely did for me.
Why? Why did it work?
But it's internal. I mean, it's internal, and she.
Is this?
she's in
This
love
was
with the
something.
tiara.
This was something that I noticed was that both you girls laugh on the same lines here. Stuff about prom queen and
Okay,
stuff
she said
that
prom,
went a bit over my head.
It said prom queens live 5 years longer than
Than the
most
average
people
girl.
because smiling wards off diseases. I cannot wait to use this line.
Well,
Absolutely.
I really liked how damaged does a guy have to be be into a girl as annoying as Rachel.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
See, that's where the writers are so creative because they hit both genres. They hit female, the men,
Yeah. Then of course we cut to Quinn here, Kurt here, and Pavarotti, and then what happens? Do we hear a sound effect?
Yeah, there's a thump.
And it's just that he's fallen,
Yes.
right? Yeah, you see, that was. I thought it was the
indeed.
door downstairs.
Okay, I have to say, I loved when he walks in a minute with this outfit.
What is that suit? I mean, where's that come
awesome.
from? Who's
It's-
the?
It's
There must
a little
be
Tim
some.
Burton to me, I
Me
think.
too.
Right.
You know, right?
It's very
felt like
dark.
And do you see the little
Let's have a look at
skull
that.
on
Yes.
his lapel?
It was a great touch.
it's
It's all
fantastic.
Hamlet. It's all
Okay,
Hamlet, and he's
see the
got
little.
chains.
Exactly.
It almost looks like a spider web,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But no, I think it was classic because they were talking about the suits and saying we should change our suits to, a blue lapel, blah blah. And then he walks in.
Not blue with red lining, red with blue lining.
For God's sake, let's shake it up.
It was very funny how seriously they were taking it.
Yeah.
And I did love at the very end when the judges are talking about the Dalton Academy for Boys. I don't know what they said about it, but something about whether they were all actually gay or if it was just boys pretending. It was that whole lining thing. I love the cassette tape. They play a cassette tape. Like, what's that about?
Oh, for those of you who cannot understand,
Is that 'cause
Mr. Australia over here, he's saying cassette tape.
Cassette.
And I mean, is that because it's a Beatles song, or is it just because that's what the Warblers do?
I have no idea.
I have to
but
say-
it stood out.
I still use cassette tapes.
You still use
I
cassette
do.
tapes?
My voice teacher still records my voice every voice lesson with a cassette tape.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
So it's kind of out
He
of
is
habit.
still in like 1900.
1970 and something. But of course, then we get a song that is a bit of an odd one out for this episode.
Indeed.
But can we have more Beatles in Glee, please? Please, if you're listening out there, people who write for Glee,
Bring
Ryan,
the Beatles.
Ian, I'd love a Beatles episode. I think the kids
I don't know
need
how
to,
you can.
the people of the world, the young people of the world need to, a way in. This is a way in.
Yeah.
And this was a superb rendition, I think. I thought the arrangement
amazing.
was beautiful.
When it was so funny to me when the first couple of notes of the song played, both you and I went, oh.
Because you knew.
You just know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they were the. I mean, they were the best.
And I love this part where all the boys start harmonizing and bump, bump, bump,
And
bump.
then
Oh, that's so cool.
Blaine has a moment.
Here it is,
Now,
right
at
here.
the time, I wasn't. I was like, okay, so this is maybe going to be something about the singing. He's
Right.
seeing
Yeah.
him sing. This may open some kind of door for them to work together, whatever.
Right.
And then I started thinking, is he seeing more than that? And then I saw the tears down Kurt's face, and I was like, surely he can't be attracted
There's
to
a
that.
lot of crying tonight.
The tears might have been a bit. They were maybe a bit tongue-in-cheek almost, but look at him. I mean, he's so into it, and as we find out very shortly, this is the moment that it all made sense to him. Here's my soulmate for the moment.
Right.
I wonder what was going through his head, really.
It was, yeah. Well, here's the thing. They pulled it off. It was a really great rendition, and I was so glad to see some Beatles. Let's see some
Really
more.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've got written here, Blaine in love, ?
Yeah.
You did.
Look
So
at that.
you did see it.
Ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen,
Mr. Prediction.
it is in my notes right there.
There it
I
is,
don't know if
Blaine
you
in
can
love.
see that. I'll just give
I
it to
can
you
see
there.
it.
Blaine in love.
I
Is it on
don't actually know if I thought that he was in love. I just thought he was well, maybe I did, but it was like more of like an awe, like, wow, he finally recognized his talent, you know?
He recognized something, and that was
Yeah,
the point. He
yeah,
certainly
yeah.
sold that. Then we have this wonderful face-off between Mr. Shu and Sue. Sue apparently has had an affair with the drummer from MCR, My Chemical Romance, and she declares World War Sue.
One of the best lines ever.
Yeah.
On this show. I mean, come on. Every single thing that comes out of her mouth. Sue, we love you out there.
Yeah.
Please come be on our show.
Oh, love
Jane
her.
Lynch.
Yeah.
She's in Paul as well, opening next weekend. The new
Oh, yeah.
Simon
Yeah.
Pegg feature about
Yes.
the little alien
About the
Yeah.
alien.
called Paul, and Jane Lynch has I don't know if it's cameo or small supporting, but she's got like big blonde curly hair, like it's been in
Rollers.
rollers,
Yeah,
rollers. You
rollers.
call them it rollers.
Rollers.
Yeah. Anyway,
Rollers.
we go back to New Directions it's original song time. We
Mr.
Quinn,
Shu talking about all the great songs come from pain, and we've got to talk about
they
the pain.
can't they don't have the My Chemical Romance song. So and Quinn, in a tactical move to keep your enemies your friends close but your enemies closer.
Yes.
Gets behind Rachel. Then, of course, Finn speaks up, and before long, well, we're doing original songs because everyone kind of gets inspired by the idea of being original. If we could fast forward through the old commercials here.
We love our DVR.
We do love the old DVR.
Sorry, commercials. We've already watched you.
But a truly excellent, it was like really great performance by Jane Lynch tonight, and I love the way that she just came in and out through the whole episode. A little bit here, just like really focused, really well written, really tight. Couldn't complain about that at all. Of course, she gets her comeuppance at the end, and that right hook was something else. Then we come to the girls reunited. This was the one like bump, really, that in an episode of Not Too Many, just because it reminded me of the awkward dealing with this issue from last week's episode, which was a bit clunky when the writing didn't quite work. And it just felt a little bit...
You said it didn't work last week.
I didn't feel it worked so well last week.
Okay. Well, I mean, right here, did you think it was a little better? But the thing is now it's like confusing because, of course, she's actually still in love with her.
Yeah,
You know, we all know that.
Yeah, that's right. So she's just pushing her away. Of course, like Heather Morris is... when you get pushed away, you want to know why, and it brings you back in, playing hard to get, whatever. But it's saved, of course. The whole thing, the interaction is saved by Sue turning up and just really being a high school bully.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Sue came up with this line. She goes, "If it's not Tweedledum and Tweedle fake boobs."
Which really put a bit of fuel to the fire of the discussion we've been having over the last few weeks.
Well, because she just got him. She must have got him because everybody's been probably saying, "Oh, Santana looks different. Her boobs look bigger. They're bigger," and I can tell.
And so they
the
wrote a
cleavage.
line?
Huh?
So they wrote a line
Yes,
to
they
make
wrote a line.
Santana's character got fake
Don't you
boobs.
think?
Because the
Yeah,
reaction.
of course.
Certainly,
of course.
there were scenes last week where I thought, yes, she's had it done, no, she hasn't. And then there was a scene this week that we'll see, we'll point it out when it comes. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want, Santana's breasts to be a constant topic of discussion, but that does keep coming up. it does keep coming up.
But you know, okay, I mean, we all know this. I mean, it is 2011. But do girls really get boob jobs in high school?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Yes, they do. They get no
But it's
jobs.
mostly-
they get boob
18th
jobs.
birthday presents.
Yes.
It's hideous.
Yes.
Okay.
It's really
I'll take.
hideous.
Okay, but I'm just saying it doesn't happen as much as like when girls get out of into
No,
college.
sure.
Right?
No, of
Yeah.
course,
But
of course.
any
Partly
of
because
you,
they
any of
can't
you young
afford it.
kids out there
Exactly.
listening, don't feel like you need to do it in high school or ever. But there it is.
Yeah.
I loved Santana's line, something about Stubbles, my wheelchair, referring
Yeah,
to Artie.
yeah.
I don't know what that was.
I didn't get it. It
Hysterical.
went
Anyway.
well over my head.
Sue puts the dirt in the locker, and I loved, as it happens, Heather's line, I don't even remember putting that in there.
That was
And
classic.
and of course, cut forward to where we are now. Blaine brings it to the Warblers that someone else should sing with him because it's a one-man show and that's not a strong way to perform. All too true. Of course, we know there might be something else behind his motives
Right,
now.
exactly.
But I loved that line from the guy, the Warblers judge. Why don't we just play it on kazoos? That made me laugh. But of course,
Okay.
Kurt gets his duet.
I want this book, this rhyming dictionary.
What's this about?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go look it up and Google it tonight.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because I write songs, I'm like, you're always, sometimes you get stumped, and you're like, oh God, I gotta go to rhyming.com.
I'm sure that all the rappers have that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have them. You just learn it by memory. So when you're freestyling, and that's me saying
they're-
freestyling.
well, they're-
you can you can pull it off. I'm one of the whitest boys alive. We all know that.
And we love that about you.
Yes.
No, there are rhyming dictionaries, and lots and lots of them. You can get them in all different, little teeny thin ones, big huge
Oh,
ones.
good.
And basically, you look up the end of a word,
That's
and then
it.
it tells you every word
Right.
that rhymes with it. So.
It's good stuff. Of course, that leads us into song number 4 for the episode.
Cord is not happy. Sam is not
Trouty
happy.
mouth.
Trouty
Mouth. This is hilarious. I love
So
the
funny.
kind of the stuff about salamander mouth,
move.
groper mouth,
Grouper
hook in,
mouth.
hook in the cheek. But I loved, actually, the music was fantastic as well. It had a
Yeah.
real kind of sultry, jazzy, jazz bar.
She was giving it. She
Yeah.
was giving it. Look at this top. Oh yeah.
This is the boob top. That's the boob top. There's just a little bit of there's
like,
there's a little bit of like
Rocket girl.
upward kind of whole do you see what I'm saying?
I do
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Just
I
feels
do
like
indeed.
there's a little I don't know. Having said that, the
Cord is pissed.
Salamander lips. That was
Salamander
the other
lips
line
was
I loved.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, in the song she goes, "Is that what people's mouth looks like in the South?" Because y'all, Sam, who plays Sam, is Cord Overstreet. He's from Tennessee,
Right.
And he's the son of a very very famous country songwriter. So,
Right.
you
But
know.
your mouth isn't huge.
My mouth is everything that comes out of it is big.
Yeah, that's right. No, we're
My
fully
mouth
aware
is very
of that.
tiny.
We're fully aware of that.
Thanks a lot.
No, nothing. No problem.
Do I need to climb this and come? Okay.
Let's save it for later. Second
Okay.
half of the show, we'll start ripping things off each other. Look out for that, ladies and gents, on the Ustream. But I thought that was great. I loved the jazz. And it was a really cool song. And I was like, this is cool because with original songs, come on, we're all a bit worried. What if, what if they're rubbish?
Yeah.
Are they going to be any good? Then if your Trouty Mouth wasn't good enough, Puck jumps up to play Big Ass Heart. Big Ass Heart, whatever your
It
accent.
started off really, really like, oh God, he's gonna do it again, like he did with Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, Puck, get it right.
Yeah.
And then he got it tight. Oh my God, look at
He
that.
sure did. It
Yes, he
was.
did.
And again, the music was fantastic in this one.
Yeah.
The rockabilly.
Yep.
Haven't heard that on Glee before.
No,
Fantastic.
Great,
Really great.
really like simple, hooky,
Yep.
like simply written song, and with really funny lyrics.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
about what? But she was going to the doctors. She stood on the scales.
Yeah.
She was super heavy because she has this big ass
Hot.
heart.
I like the growing heart. Yeah.
Harry's little, he got a little bit of and she's so into it. Lauren's
yeah.
totally into it. But as Mr. Schuster said, very good song, perhaps not quite right for regionals. Probably the right decision there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get it's single white female time again. We're back to not that she's so much copying someone, but being a little bit weird and stalkerish.
Yeah.
And all for prom queen.
Prom Queen and King.
It's that big a deal, right?
The ultimate in status.
It's the ultimate in status. And again, like her hair is like I really felt like I could see an older Quinn this
Me too.
tonight. She felt older, and we'll see it in this scene coming up with Rachel at the piano where she really lays it out for her.
Right.
But
and the innocence is kind of gone. It's more the conniving.
Is gone. And I actually feel like Diana is stronger
as an
actress when she's doing this kind of stuff.
Well, wouldn't you be if you're on all these new movies? I mean, she's got what, 2 movies coming out or something?
Yeah,
and
she's had some practice.
Yeah, but you know, I like her.
You sense it's the confidence coming through?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. No, that's probably a really good point.
Completely. But then again, she needs to still keep that youth because she's still in high school.
Yeah.
She's what, probably 25 or something, you know?
Yeah, they all are.
She needs to keep, I don't know.
But, you know, having said that, she does have the advantage of being the one who's had the baby first already, and we can fast forward on the TV, DJ Jess. You know, so that does give you a bit of age, and she's one thing that the character has always been, and she's always sort of maintained this consistently, I think, is that sense of ambition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a young lady who knows what she wants and where she wants to be, and she's had episodes where she's been nicer than others, but it always comes back to that drive.
Well, there's also been episodes where she hasn't even been in, you know, the episode. Like, they didn't really feature her at all after that baby situation.
Right. Yeah, she did take a back seat.
I mean, not really.
Was that scheduling, do you think?
Probably.
Ooh. Oh.
Anyway, let's get back to what's on the box here.
Yes.
This is the big scene that was really, and you know, there was no advertising done about this.
Nope.
We were not told it was going to happen, and then it happened.
And the three
It was
of us,
so hot.
We actually
we were cheering.
We were cheering. Buzz came in at this very moment, so we had to rewind it just to watch the actual beginning
Oh,
moments.
don't blame it on Buzz. You just wanted to see the kiss again.
I thought that was yes. I did want to see the kiss again. We've been waiting for so long.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Creating some confusion out there. That's for sure. Which side is he on? I love Kurt's opening line. I'm decorating Pavarotti's casket. And then Blaine comes clean with his feelings for Kurt, or at least his ability to finally understand them, and how watching him sing. And here it goes, boom. And let's just talk about.
Wait, hold on.
And then
we're gonna get a second one. We're gonna get a second one. Hell yeah.
Chris goes back in
I
for
saw
a bit
tongue.
of open mouth.
I saw tongue.
Which is actually a bit of a big deal, because there are all sorts of, I think in terms of ratings and not ratings.
Standards and practices.
All that stuff. Yeah, but this is, it's prime time, 8 o'clock on
right.
Fox, the most conservative
Right.
of the networks,
Right.
showing 2 15, 16-year-old boys kiss.
Okay,
I
wait.
cannot believe it got to air.
I
It is
know.
amazing.
Is Blaine is he gay in real life?
I think so.
I mean, I just believe him so much. I feel like he is. But if he's not, then you're an amazing actor.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think they both are. But I mean, it's really it's a big moment for the show, for Ryan Murphy and the whole Kurt's whole journey on the whole show. I mean, I'm really, it's awesome. It's really good stuff.
I found it incredibly touching that they finally.
Yeah.
It was very real. It was
really
really well written.
Beautiful.
It was a long time coming, y'all. We
It's a
needed
long time
it.
coming.
Yep.
Oh,
But
wait. Okay, I'm sorry, but I had to butt in. The fashion is really, they're upping the ante on it. It's so much better than it used to be. Like, I feel like, I mean, they're giving, no, not her per se. Look at this red hat that Brittany's wearing. Love it.
That's wicked.
Kids are going to start
And
actually copying
this to me,
their fashion.
this was a killer song, was it not?
Oh,
this,
fabulous.
Hell to the No. Mercedes singing Hell to the No. And
Is it?
DJ.
Woo, I love her voice. It kicks ass.
We haven't heard enough of it this season.
This one's going to be a hit on the radio, I hope. I really do. I mean,
think it will.
Hell to the no.
Absolutely. I mean, they're kidding themselves if they don't get it out there. It's an absolute, like, Kiss FM, belter hit for sure. So great to see Mercedes singing it. The perfectly delivered. I also love, I was saying to you guys in the room, and I said to DJ, Jess, I love the phrase "hell to the no." I'd not heard of it before.
DJ,
Jesse had.
You've heard it, right?
I have as well.
Back on the East Coast.
Is it an East Coast saying? What
I don't
is
know
it?
if it's just the East Coast saying, but I remember being in high school and the girls, but hell to the no.
Right.
It might be a little
Not
more
to you,
urban.
they
You know what it
never
is?
said
It's
things like
I guess it's more of an urban slang term.
Yeah.
Right. I wondered if maybe she'd been saying it around set and they use that in the writing. You know what I mean? Like, it felt really personal. It felt really right.
Yeah.
So perfect for the character, and it was excellent.
No.
But then of course Mr. Schuster's like, look, this is all great. This is an amazing song, but still we're not connecting. And as you mentioned before, Tam, this is where he was like, you need to access your pain. I love how, like, Rachel's been doing this for a couple of eps, trying to get her pain levels up so that she can write well.
She has.
But as Finn said at the beginning, it's not quite authentic enough. It's like you're copying an idea of pain.
Right.
And then he brings up, everyone starts talking about Sue, and Sue throwing sticks at your head. At Mercedes' head. That was so funny. And everyone has their 2 cents
and they
about...
stuck, like, in the hair. It was, well...
It's very funny.
Yeah.
The dirt in the lockers. And then, Will gets onto this idea of, well, okay, let's explore this further. And we feel like we have... And they finally have a collective pain.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you can channel into everyone's collective pain, which is what... Or pain or experience of love, passion, joy, desire, that's what makes an anthem, right?
Yeah.
Something that we can all totally tune in to, apart from some, Bon Jovi-style guitar riffs. And, of course, they have their topic.
Loser like me.
A loser like me.
Loser like me.
Yeah. So then they all go away to write the song. We find Quinn and Rachel facing off on either side of the beautifully reflective and always polished grand piano. A nice little metaphor for the show, really, isn't it? And
this was a very, very scary scene for me.
Really harsh.
I mean,
really harsh.
I don't want to cross her.
This is what I was talking about with
exactly.
Diana Agron. She's very still. She's very focused.
Yeah.
And I believe her. There's a sort of a, I don't know, just a feel it. I don't know.
It's the single white female situation, babe.
It's really intense.
There's
but there's
a
also
vicious woman inside her.
There is, but that the way that she chose to package it, saying I will stay here. I will be with Finn. I will be probably a real estate agent, which was very funny. But
Perfect.
not real, but not. She didn't play it up. It was just you could hear the writers through it. Finn will take on his. Kurt's father's business.
Yeah.
You will go on to greater things, but they will be not here. There was a realism to it that was kind of so mature that it was terrifying.
Yes.
And so brutal and I thought it was pretty well written, and I thought it was pretty well delivered.
Yes, I agree.
It was certainly in this really kind of very musical, very up sort of episode.
Right.
This was a really kind of strong moment, and both actresses got to do what they do best, really. So this whole side hair thing is like seems to be part of the new Quinn.
It is different.
I'm telling. Well, she usually had her hair pulled back, and it was very like more flipped out. It was. But she's got the curl, the soft waves. I mean,
Of course,
I think
the standard.
I think they're having a say so on what they look like. I mean, look at Santana. Her whole look has changed over the past couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, and we might have a little filler thing going on, or I'm still convinced.
And of course,
She's
we
done
had
her
this,
lips.
we had that just before they cut to the break. We see Rachel sitting on her bed, mascara running, tears dripping down her face, writing "Get It Right." What
inspired.
Clearly inspired.
I was just waiting. We'll get to it in a minute. I was just waiting for like a teardrop to fall on the paper,
page.
and it was gonna like spread everything out, and then there was gonna be that one word that was like, "I got it."
All right.
That was what I would.
Maybe you should have directed this
I was gonna
episode,
say.
Kat. Then we see Sue. Sue comes into the for the pre-regionals, talk up
Smackdown.
to SmackDown.
She had another good line. I'm positively drunk. With confidence. I'm positively drunk with confidence.
Yeah, and she said something about a turd in there, I think, as well.
Ew, gross.
And we find out that the whole My Chemical Romance drummer thing was a ruse.
Fake.
She forged the whole letter, and in fact, the only drummer she slept with was from Jimmy Eat World, which is just so funny because they're such a lame band.
Oh my God, I've met them. They were on One Tree Hill when I was on that show.
Were they really?
Yes.
I've heard they're very nice guys.
I don't know them that well.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Oh, thanks,
Boom.
Jesse. I feel so special.
Anyway, yeah, I thought that was very funny. Anyway, then it's like the main section of the show, the pièce de la résistance, the regionals performances.
Who was the first judge? The guy. Who was that?
He's
Oh,
the
he's
news.
a regular.
Yeah, he's the regular
Yeah.
newscaster who Sue had the affair with
Right.
last
Oh.
season, and who always
Oh.
judges at these
Yes.
things.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, he doesn't look famous to me like the other two.
Yeah, no, he's just the regular local newsman.
Oh my God.
And
Awesome.
yeah, and we had the actress who, in as the judge. We have Kathy Griffiths, the comedian.
Griffin,
sorry. Thank you. Apologies. Playing a super conservative tea partyist.
Tea partier.
Brilliant.
And homeschooler.
Yeah, wonderful. And we have a nun played by the actress who plays Tracy Jordan's wife, I think, in 30 Rock. I don't know if you can look up who that is,
That's where
Jesse.
she's from. I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's
So
been on a
familiar.
good.
She's
base.
on all sorts of things, but certainly we see her a lot these days on 30 Rock. And we have the first performance by Oral.
Was that a star?
Yes, it
Star
was.
David.
Like
Star
it's Star David.
Yeah.
Stop it! I
Yeah.
just got it.
Very, very
Oh my
funny.
God!
Look
Welcome,
at Sue.
welcome.
So
Do you
glad you're with us.
Do you see Jane Lynch?
Jesus is my savior.
As everyone's clapping, Sue's in the audience going, "That's me. I did that." It's very funny.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Oral
that was
intensity.
hilarious. Thank you very much. Very, very funny stuff. And then, of course, Kurt's a little bit nervous, but Blaine talks him into it, talks him round, and says they're going to be brilliant. Now, this to me, going in, the first song they sung was "Blow the Candles Out" by. Do we know?
Yes, we do know, but we
do.
all didn't catch it.
Do you know who it's by, Jess? Look, this to me, this first song didn't so much work for me.
Me neither.
I just feel his voice. I just think Chris Colfer's voice is usually better than
It
this.
is, but the song, I
Yes.
just
Is the song?
Yeah.
It
Oh my
feels.
God.
Do you know what
A
it
little
feels
flat
like?
to me.
what?
It feels. Yeah, maybe it's a little flat.
It's sung by Hey Monday.
Hey Monday. Well,
Okay.
it feels a little bit like elevator music to me. Like it's like Muzak. I would expect to hear this
Yeah.
when I'm walking through a department store buying bad shoes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just.
Yeah,
Once
I'm
they all
curious
came
about
on,
the choice of it though, in the
so
in the
many
first place,
opportunities, right?
Yes.
So many places you could go, so many great songs. Did they, I don't know, like, I don't, it's not like the message of the song was super important for
But
the...
it's not like this is the only song that these two guys, gay guys, can do a duet together. You know, I mean, hello.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's other songs they could have sang.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Are
agreeing.
you agreeing with
I'm
me?
agreeing too.
Agreeing.
Okay, guys.
God.
We're all agreeing, okay? That's
Tell
enough.
it to the hand, tell it to the palm, kiss my ass, and poof, be gone.
There you go. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is the actual song.
Oh, okay.
This one? Who sings it?
All right.
Hey Monday.
It feels like a real 80s.
Yes,
80s.
that's exactly what it feels like.
80s, like just when electro started coming in,
Yeah.
80s pop hit.
Yeah.
That we all like
Like
listen
power
to
pop.
Yeah.
on Power FM and
Well, they did say, oh my God, you're not picking a top 40.
which was a good call. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But look, and everyone's got their fake little candles, which was sort of a bit naff
It
and
was
much
too,
to
a
me.
little too cheap. Too much
It's,
cheap.
like, it's like if the song was truly awesome and wasn't called "Blow Your Candles Out," then I could buy it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the song was good enough. It was better once everyone was in on it, but
Well,
I
at
don't
least
think
the candles were electronic. That was cool. Like, they
Yeah,
weren't
it
real,
just-
they weren't real
it just
lighters.
didn't show his voice to the best it
No,
could
it
have.
really didn't.
You know what I mean?
It really didn't.
Yeah, but fortunately they went into a second song, which although I really don't like this song that much, especially the first few lines, they drive me crazy.
Yeah.
The use of the word dealio, I feel should be like
a little
made
lame.
illegal on public radio. Especially coming from Pink's mouth, it's just like this false bravado. She's capable of far better,
Yeah.
and she has such a great writing team behind
Yeah.
her. Can't we do better than that?
Dealio. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Anyway.
However, the Warblers rocked it. I mean,
However,
it was-
from this point on,
exactly.
it was great. And but again, Kurt wasn't involved. It wasn't a duet. I thought he was supposed to duet the whole regional song. Anyway,
It was Blaine and the Pips.
it was
little
blatant.
bit.
And
Do you know what?
What?
He shone though.
No, he
we,
did,
We
he
really
did.
do see how good Darren Criss is here. The way that he dances and stuff, he's so committed. He really is the most dynamic male on this show now.
Oh, for sure.
Like you can't. And even though I think he does have he's playing a gay character, and I believe he is gay in real life. He has a straight gay element to him.
Yeah.
Like there's not, as we were talking about last week, that I think Jesse brought it up that apparently a lot of feedback to the show was from the gay community that they didn't just want like high camp as the representation of young gay men as well then as realistic as it is in many ways. Like it's just for everyone of this person of this kind of version. There's this version, like every human being of whatever creed, color, or sexual orientation.
I thought the ography, and that's my short term for choreography, was. I'm a
you
dancer.
heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Ography.
Somebody pop that in the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I want to cut Bailess Dictionary, and when maybe we'll call it the Kashanti Dictionary. Where's Ashanti when you need him? But
we miss you, Ashanti. Ashanti's our other co-host, guys.
I want the Kashanti Dictionary because you guys have so many words.
But the second edition will have to be a rhyming dictionary, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting so hot up in here. But
hilarious.
no, the ography was awesome.
It was really good.
It was subtle.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I just loved it.
Everyone, like I believe that the audience wanted to get off their feet and sing along with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really can't stand the literal choreography, the literalography. And I was so glad they didn't walk around going raise a glass, through the whole thing, because it just makes me sick to see that stuff. Please.
Yeah, that's right. It works. I mean, I think we saw Kurt do one kind of faux one.
Right.
It works like that because he's being, it's got his like kind of dry.
And it's a thing character for him.
Right. Yeah. But I totally agree. There's nothing worse than literal interpretive dance.
Oh my god.
No.
Just to buzz in, guys, Darren Criss is actually straight.
He's straight.
Okay.
There you go.
I have
You're
hope.
fantastic.
We can be
Darren.
a team together, and we can sing together.
No wonder. That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, in a cynical marketing sense. He's the new poster boy for the show because the tween girls
he appeals to everyone.
The biggest market this show has. He's a real option to them.
That's right.
Maybe he is gay, and he's not saying. I doubt it.
Here we go. This is the moment. This is the moment.
Rachel says to Finn, "Listen to every word because I mean it," or whatever. Yeah. And then she keeps. I just didn't like how she kept looking back there's one time at the beginning, fine. Every time, Finn, this is for you. Okay, Finn, I'm talking to you. This is about you and Quinn, Finn.
Hey, Finn.
But
listen, Finn.
Having said that,
that was a little bit too good over there, Paul. I'm starting to worry now.
Oh dear.
Dang it, I don't have a chance.
New Directions come out with their first song, To Get It Right. What did we think of this song, girls?
It got better.
Yeah.
It got better.
Yeah.
At first I was like, really? I mean, y'all, you're Glee, and then when it hit that power ballad, you could probably compare it to, I don't want to say Celine Dion, but it got to those
It feels
notes.
like a single.
You know what I'm saying? It's a power ballad.
Yep.
And people love power ballads, so... And if anyone's going to sing a power ballad on this show, it is her. It is Rachel.
She sang it well. Maybe it could have gone...
That's her classic look.
And this song was written by producer Adam Anders specifically for her, for Lea Michele. So
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's definitely worth their while investing in it because it's going to be... It's a new
single,
It's going to be a single.
Yeah.
I felt it was good. I felt it almost got there. Like... Yeah. It's certainly good enough. It didn't like let the team down or let the episode down. It was not a bomb, but it just maybe it could have been just half a beat quicker. Maybe they could have just had some other killer like melodic phrase in the chorus. Yeah. Just like a final hook. I just didn't feel like it finally hooked. I don't know.
Ballads are hard though.
Yeah.
It's really hard to have a ballad hook you in.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. The second song, Loser Like Me.
God, that's a
I could walk out of here singing it tonight in my car. You know what I'm saying? So this one, I'd have to listen to it over, a couple more times.
Yeah.
But I
it'll
feel like
work.
she might have. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but I feel like maybe she's gonna have her own album pretty soon.
Oh,
well,
really?
I was gonna actually say I think this was I know it wasn't an amazing single, but I think it was the first step to get us welcoming Lea Michele as
a solo
an
artist. Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about it, I actually thought the song was perfect for the moment and for her, was when they cut to Chris in the audience and he was like, oh, they're singing original songs.
It took him half a song to realize it. Shouldn't that have been edited in after the first line, or were they were trying to sell us the song too much, I think.
And the whole song, the whole theme is original songs. Like, really, Glee? You had to throw that in there right then. Like,
well, some people just don't listen, Jesse. Well, and I'm probably one of the same people.
One more thing about the song, I thought that I think it's fantastic for the radio. Maybe part of the reason it didn't play so well is because it's just a gal singing on stage. It's not a song we know already.
Yeah.
We're on TV.
It's harder. It's harder to sell us something we don't know.
It really is.
And whereas the other songs, like earlier on, they had the humor and they had
hook,
really hooky kind of like faster beat.
Well, they weren't trying that hard. It wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to be the best singer ever.
Yep.
It was quirky. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's easy to hook into, first time round.
Yeah.
They really did strip it back. And they did bring in a little bit of harmonies with the two girls, sort of second verse. Yes. Maybe they could have layered it a bit earlier. I don't know. But having said that, it was certainly no failure.
I want that mic, y'all. She has this rhinestone. It might be Swarovski crystal.
Microphone. I know. As the camera was going around, I was like, oh, look at that pretty mic.
It's certainly very bling. It's certainly very bling.
If you can tell, we're like glam girls over here.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the sparkle.
So
bling, bling.
So then we go into the real kind of the big New Directions piece.
Okay,
can we talk about their outfits? I'm not really loving them.
No.
The dresses. They look like bridesmaid dresses.
They're like bad prom dresses.
Yes.
That they tried to like fix.
I've got to say, even I noticed that.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, I was like, hang on a minute. Why are they wearing really tacky looking, cheap satin? And
then
I don't.
Boots,
yeah, I mean, I kind of like wish they'd gone more in that direction
Yeah.
than trying to have the like pretty thing on top. Like some, I don't know, like some. Just something else.
Yeah, something different.
But do you think they were trying to capture that if nowadays in high school, the emo girls, or they wear the dresses with the combat boots?
No, you're right. Yeah.
That's totally true. I just think a different material or color or something.
I just didn't think it was successful.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too bright and baby blue or something. And this is a really good song.
Great
for
okay.
These guys.
So of course they changed the dress for our girl Lauren because she's on the heavy side. Notice that she's got sleeves.
Yes, she does.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
See it? See?
Okay.
She's the only one.
Yeah.
Wait, did they do Mercedes?
Whatever.
No.
Okay.
This is so. I mean, it's really quite clever. I mean, the way this song and the title of the song, this has been the Glee thing. It's part of their
from
branding.
The very beginning. From the very beginning.
They've even got Kurt's got those thumb
the
things.
foam L's.
I mean,
the fan little number ones usually, but it's the loser.
What are you thinking?
I just think it's pretty
clever.
Yeah. I think it's.
Of course it is.
It really is.
It's really, it's like the kind of. Vertical integration of marketing that you'd expect to see, from Coke.
I had an epiphany. Okay, I think they're going to be selling those little loser hand things on their tour.
Of course they are.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For this song, they'll all get thrown around.
Now, is 7-Eleven, the Slurpees are about to come on stage in a minute, is 7-Eleven sponsoring Glee? I mean, because the big gulp is 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah, who knows? I expected that.
You have no idea. You don't even go to 7-Eleven.
I do too. I've got coffee from there before.
That's good.
Right.
And it's
cheap.
cheap.
If you'll notice, the only place it says it is right there. That's the only place you can see it, and it's almost. And they don't call them slushies. They call them
Slurpees.
No, they call them slushies. They don't call them Slurpees at 7-Eleven. So I don't know if that was I don't know.
So then, of course, we have that last bit of look of Quinn before we go to this great commercial.
This is an amazing commercial.
With
oh my God, talking about Alec Baldwin.
God, I love you, Alec Baldwin. Can the man do any wrong?
No.
Just before we do that we did see the little Finn love triangle, of like as Finn's watching Rachel sing and Quinn's behind him. We didn't get quite the rack focus, but that was all a bit much to me. It was laid on a little thick.
Yeah.
But I guess this whole judges section.
Of course, they're going to turn it around.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love the little I mean, the whole thing was just wonderfully conceived, and Griffin was just hilarious.
Speaking of great wardrobe, Kathy Griffin in that dress. I mean,
Right.
come on, seriously.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Speaking of work, you can really see how tight her face is on the.
Have you seen
they
her
did
body?
They did not do her any favors with that lighting.
She strips down in bikinis all the time on her D-list show.
Because when you've had as much lipo as she does, you can.
And didn't she walk
I
out
look
of
forward
some
to the
award
day.
I know. She walked out of some award show recently with a bikini and heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't give a shit like when she looked. She
Yeah.
looked good. I mean, for someone like her.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know,
What is she, 50?
Yeah, maybe,
I would
maybe.
say at least.
But
Yeah.
she said,
I
you know,
would
she's
say
probably
at
had a
least,
little sucker.
Yeah.
But anyway, this collection of these three abominable individuals was hilarious.
I love the nun, though. I mean, that she was an exotic dancer.
Oh, what was that line? The convent is the only way I can keep off the pole. That's my line of the episode.
Yeah.
That is the line of the episode. Wonderfully. Just no one's safe. Not even nuns. You know what I mean? On this show, no one is safe. Then we go, obviously, to the...
Oh my God!
And
no!
I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
So many great
that was my
moments in this
second
episode.
favorite line.
There's right here.
My husband is verbally
verbally
abusive, and I've been drinking since
noon.
noon. Well
Who
done.
is that actress? You know what? She stepped off of that stage. I said, this lady is going to do something really funny. I just could feel it. She's like a Southern politician's wife or something, you know?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Let's just find out who the winner is. Forget all this second and third place
that
stuff.
was really good. I'm glad they did that. And then, of course, and we find out that New Directions wins, of course.
Right.
And then,
it wouldn't be any other way.
No, because otherwise there'd be no nationals and no show.
No.
But it was nice to see. Everyone was super stoked. The boys were obviously very disappointed over it.
Trophy.
It's a big trophy. This moment.
Oh, wait. Here we go.
Here it comes.
Dun, da, da, da.
As Sue walks across the stage in front of the whole audience, we don't know what she's going to do. I thought maybe she was going to go for Schuster for a moment, and then we pan across.
Total
bang.
surprise. Did not see that coming.
Big right hook.
Knocked her out of her shoes.
Oh, brilliant! And then we cut to a grave, which is a nice little visual juxtaposition.
Poor Pavarotti.
Poor Pavarotti's
Singing in heaven.
Singing in heaven, which is lovely.
And actually, I'm sorry to cut you off. Just a little update. 30 Rock, Sherry Shepherd played Tracy Jordan's wife. And the woman who played Sister Mary Constance was Loretta Devine, who you can catch in Medea's Big Happy Family and in a new movie, Jumping the Broom, coming out this year.
What else have I seen her in, though? I haven't seen any of those Medea things.
I'm trying to think. It's on TBS.
Oh, is she in House of Pain?
Yes,
she's in Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
She's one of those guys.
Ladies, I apologize for mixing you up.
And also the main actress in Four Colored Girls.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, which my friend Anika Nani Rose was in that.
It's something that I do from time to time.
Like anyone cares.
I'm blaming the nun outfit. I couldn't see her hair properly.
That's it.
Anyway. So then, of course, Will comes and says to the guys, "Okay, we're going to have to." Oh, that's right. No, to award MVP. What did you think about MVP? Was this necessary?
No.
I wasn't.
No comment.
Yeah. Oh, why? Because you didn't get it.
I would love to be an MVP.
You have MVP jealousy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, from back in the day. Overlooked. Did you play basketball, softball? What was it?
Most improved. That's the closest I ever got.
I was the homecoming queen. I was all
there?
that.
She's got the tiaras. She's got at least 2, I'm sure. She's going to live 10 years longer than that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, I like that. It's more than 5.
Yeah, okay. So we have an MVP to Rachel, and for once she gives a slightly more humbling speech.
Indeed.
I'm glad. I feel like she's accepted now. You know, I really do.
It was a very touch. It was kind of nice, I guess. I wasn't sure that they needed MVP, but whatever. She pulled it off. She was very kind of genuine.
It was about bringing her around and her feeling finally included, and them finally including her.
Yeah, and she does it really well, and
This was a good speech right here.
Lea Michele. Lea Michele, she's damn good. She knows.
We should get her on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Lea, if you're out there, come and play with us. Right?
pretty much, I think that wraps up the ep, them all hugging.
They love each other,
nice, isn't it?
and they all had the huddle hug at the end.
So all in all, after a couple of episodes that were very thematically driven about drinking and about teen sex, one which was definitely more successful than the other, but both which weren't shockers, are both pretty strong eps. We get back to a pretty the kind of Glee ep that we really remember falling in love with, I guess, from that first season, one that's really musically driven.
Yes.
I mean, how many songs were there? I mean, obviously, it was quite clever the way they did this, the way that they wrote in them all having to audition their songs. It was a really great tool for getting through twice as many songs as they normally would. I have
exactly.
song 1,
and
2,
really
3.
I think
so
10.
much of the humor.
Yeah,
I think there's
4,
10.
5, 6. Yeah, and then then they did 2 each. So like 3 more performances. So 9, 10, 11, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot more than usual. 5 or 6 more than usual.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were shorter ones when we were watching them perform their own material, but it was just so great. It was a really good reason for them to be singing. But I just, that was the good thing about starting with the song as well. Was there's no apologies. It's like, this is Glee and we sing.
Yeah.
There's no, trying to create a reason.
Well,
that really works for me.
Well, and one of the things that you talked about was how fast this episode went, and I think it has everything to do with the fact that there was so much music in it. Just boom, 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 boom. There was no breathing.
No, they just hit us with a bang, singing Misery, which Maroon 5's, getting some love this year.
Yeah,
even
but
with Idol.
But they're really good. I mean, their music is really good for the Warblers kind of stuff. For Darren Chris's range and they're kind of because Adam Levine.
Just go ahead and change his name.
Is it Levine?
Levine, you so fine.
Levine, Adam Levine.
No, it's Levine. No, I'm just kidding.
I never know.
Oh, see, like you confused us, so now I can confuse you.
Yeah, that's right.
Just getting you back.
I mean, he does have an amazing voice, and Darren really did a pretty good job. So kick-ass show for me. Really enjoyed it, right?
Loved this episode. I thought it was one of the funniest episodes.
We were laughing out loud over and over again. Yeah.
My tummy hurt.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the road to nationals. On that note, let's go to a commercial.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call at 347-855-8269.
This television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Get in on the AfterBuzz.
347-855-8269.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
Listen on iTunes.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from?
Find us on Facebook.
Your husband or your best friend?
Follow us on Twitter.
But then she's trying to kill him, so it justifies it. I'm like, oh, now it makes sense.
And visit us at AfterBuzzTV.com.
The wig will come off. That wig come off, baby.
Oh, what? Boardwalk Empire.
Desperate Housewives.
Glee.
Gossip Girl.
Breaking Bad.
Mad Men.
True Blood.
The Walking Dead.
Big Love.
Jersey Shore.
The Oscars.
Celebrity Rehab.
The Emmys.
If it's hot, you can bet we'll be buzzing about it.
There it is.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Take it away, Jess.
All right, so Lea Michele revealed she is happy to be a role model for young girls and wants to show them that you don't have to be, quote, cool to be successful in life. She explained, quote, I'm really proud I don't have any skeletons in my closet and I don't feel like I'm pretending to be somebody that I'm not. Yes, I work really hard and I'm determined like Rachel, but I'm also really happy, easygoing person. Plus, I'm proud of the choices I made growing up and want to show young girls that you don't have to do what the cool kids do in order to turn out okay in the real world.
I don't agree with that at all.
What don't you agree? What don't you agree with about that?
Well, I have friends of friends of friends that, disagree with that. She's not Miss Happy all the time. I heard
certainly easygoing isn't how I've heard it described.
No. So, okay, look, she was a Broadway star before this, and now she is, one of the most, sought after TV stars right now, and I heard that her whole personality's changed. She's not happy-go-lucky. She's, just secluded and in her own little world. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my question would be though, having been someone who's been in hit shows from her tweens.
Exactly.
I mean, certainly
Childhood.
Spring Awakening was a massive hit when she's in her late teens.
Yeah.
Wasn't she already always on that road?
It's different.
It's very different, obviously. You're
Yeah.
living in New York, you're doing Broadway, and the thing everybody says about being in New York, you don't get recognized on the street.
No.
You're on TV here, everywhere you go, you can't miss it. Especially if
Yeah.
you're living in Los Angeles, you know?
Not everybody goes to Broadway. Everybody watches television. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well, I do want to say this. We have reported this before, but our very own Maria Menounos actually met her recently.
Ooh.
And
We did talk about that.
yes, and she said she's actually a very sweet, down-to-earth
AfterBuzz
girl.
TV exclusive.
And that, what she's dealing with is that she's a young actress in Hollywood and just going through growing
Yeah.
up
It's a massive adjustment.
with TV and, that's why she's kind of, people
Yeah.
say she's secluded, but she's going through life. She's going through these issues on her own and dealing with it in
I
front of the
think her mum's in the picture quite strongly.
Yeah, but another thing, not everybody has to be Miss. I'm a superstar.
Right.
Yeah,
I've got the
I
best
mean-
personality in the world. I mean, I'm not talking bad about her. This is what I've heard. So I feel like this kind of was being pushed in our face. This little quote.
There's perhaps a little bit of publicist right
Spin.
Yeah.
spin in this,
especially for this episode.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I met her, as has been noted on AfterBuzz before, I met her once at a party, and I thought she was good fun.
Oh, good. Love
Yeah.
it.
I'm
telling you, we're going to get her on the show.
Yes, Lea Michele. Well, speaking of happy-go-lucky, actress and recurring player on Glee, Kristen Chenoweth will appear on Good Christian Bitches,
I heard about this show.
a series
I
based
should
on
be
a
on there.
based on a book. The show will be produced by Darren Start. Focuses on
Fantastic.
Amanda,
Sex in the City.
Sex
fame.
and the City, right? Yeah.
played by Leslie Bibb, a divorced mother of two who moves home to an affluent Texas neighborhood and can't help but get immersed in a world of gossip, plastic surgery, and duplicity. Chenoweth will portray Darlene, one of the women in the town.
Well, she'll probably
Well,
fit right
it
in.
sounds fantastic. It sounds fun. It sounds right up her alley.
There were some parents and friends who had a problem with the title of this. I think I remember reading the Good Christian Bitches.
I would imagine they would.
Are they going to change it? They're going to keep it.
Well, for right now, they're keeping it.
What's
so.
the do we know what network is it going to be on, or is it cable? Jess, do you know? Because that
I don't know at the moment, but I can get.
because that'll certainly have a big
I
impact
think
on
it's
their
on
ability.
ABC or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like Darren Star always, pushes the buttons. I mean, Sex in the City.
Yep.
That's the
It's
first
on
time that-
ABC.
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 Ooh, see?
And Sex in the City was HBO originally, right?
Yep.
So they
Yes,
had a
it
lot
was.
more freedom of content.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that name.
Change.
Yeah, but if I seriously hope it doesn't.
Or maybe
Right.
it has a 9 o'clock spot.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
Yeah,
Although, well, or even 8 o'clock Tuesday. You can get
Yeah.
away with all sorts now.
Well,
Yeah.
we also have we reported on Gossip Girls. There's going to be a show coming out called The Bitch in Apartment 23.
And
Yeah.
starring Kristen Ritter,
Yes.
who was on last season of Breaking Bad, and is unbelievable. She is super hot and amazingly hot and very good.
And is
good.
Hot.
And she's, let me tell you, hot.
No, she played the junkie girlfriend
Yeah.
of you
beautiful gal.
Oh God, yeah, and amazing in that.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm really
Yes,
glad
indeed.
she's got a show because she's awesome. Onward.
Yay.
Well, Lea Michele has taken some time off from Glee's production to do principal photography for her movie debut, New Year's Eve, the romantic comedy follow-up to Gary Marshall's Valentine's Day. Lea joins a star cast that includes Robert De Niro, Hilary Swank, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jessica Biel, Zac Efron, and Halle Berry.
Oh, my God.
When Lea arrived on the set in New York City on Monday, March 14th, she looked overjoyed, strutting through Times Square. She soon took to her Twitter to share her excitement, writing, quote, "I'm on set right now, so exciting."
What's so OMG, Kat?
What?
What's so OMG about
cast.
The cast.
Like amazing?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to work with all those people. I just would love to work with one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Who,
great cast.
if you could work with any of them, who would it be?
Oh, God. I don't know. I've always been a Michelle Pfeiffer
You
fan.
just want to kiss Zac Efron.
Yeah, I do. You got me.
Now, do you guys get a very I get barber. As soon as I heard that this was happening, picturing her walking around in New York. I was like, wow, they're really going to make her the next Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
I can just see her on set twirling around, just.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Great imagery there, Jess.
Thank you. Well, the film is set to arrive in theaters across the nation on December 9th.
All right.
Yeah, well, we're already into March.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Glee's always had a history of over-the-top characters, but now it seems that someone on Fox's hit musical show will be going so over-the-top that they need a psychiatrist. As far as casting calls say, producers are currently looking for someone to fill the shoes of Dr. Shane, a very smart, cool, and kind psychiatrist. The character is currently described as only being a guest role, but the role could possibly become recurring as well, especially considering the absolute kookiness of some of the show's main characters. Shane won't be appearing until after the show's impending but thankfully short hiatus.
Okay, so obviously Scientology have nothing to do with Glee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really interesting that they're I'm assuming it's specifically a psychiatrist and not a psychologist. That is because Scientology is completely anti-psychiatry in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That they're a pretty powerful lobby group in Hollywood.
Yes, they are.
But they obviously have not too many, feet in the door at Fox, or at least when it comes to Ryan Murphy, he's not a Scientologist.
Yeah.
But that is interesting.
Very.
Onward.
Is Shane
Dr. Shane?
a girl or a boy?
Probably whatever. It could be open.
I think
but
it
I
is.
would have thought it'd be a bloke, seeing as you've got Emma as the kind of
the kind-hearted.
You've got and who's you've got a female social worker.
Kind-hearted confidant.
Then we got Holly.
Yeah.
And Holly, I think, is probably a male. Yeah, time for a bloke.
Yeah.
A bloke. I like that.
I wonder who they'll get. We'll see. All right, next.
Well, a performance of Gary Glitter's song "Do You Want to Touch Me," sung by Gwyneth Paltrow in last week's episode of Glee, is causing an uproar with child campaigners.
This was noted here at AfterBuzz last week, in fact.
We did it first.
It was first predicted by our own Catherine Tulick last week. Claude Knights from children's charity Kidscape is furious that the high-rating teen show is going to be a windfall for convicted pedophile Gary Glitter, saying, quote, "It is regrettable that the producers did not consider the implication of using such a track in the context of a sexual education class. The fact that this song is linked to glitter and the words themselves make it wholly inappropriate, moves were made to have the song edited out of the show before it airs in the UK a few days from now. But Channel 4 will screen the show unedited, saying, quote, "We feel the scene is editorially justified within the program and we did not seek to censor material used in the proper context," Channel 4 said in a statement.
There you go. There you go.
Wow, I can't believe they didn't even think about that before.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is the song was like kind of cool in the context. We all picked up the irony of it.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, is it enough to justify not going with it? I think it's fine, probably.
Well, now it's not gonna be fine because people know what it means. Like before, we were just like,
just
"Oh, do you want to touch me?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fun song.
Exactly. Yeah. But the argument has to be made of where do you cross the line?
Yeah.
Because at what crime do you stop supporting the artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, like it's a reinvention of something. It's not like it's Gary Glitter up there singing it. It's like you're taking a musical piece of work that someone has written that kind of now has a life of its own. And when you're redefining it, it's an incredibly kind of postmodern exercise. You're taking it, you're putting it in a new context. You're kind of giving, well, "Do you want to touch me?" has a fairly singular meaning, I suppose. But you're giving it a different context.
Well, what if they did? What if they did? "If You Seek Amy" on here by Britney. Okay, so everybody, you know what I'm saying right now. If you seek Amy, like you're saying F-U-C-K me, okay?
Right.
So it's the same kind of thing, and that thing was all over the radio for like 2 years. I mean,
well, to me, I kind of feel like Glee did this chose a song purposely so that they would get this uproar and they would. I mean,
you think it's a cynical marketing exercise?
I do, because I've noticed this a lot with the Glee photography and what was it, GQ magazine.
They know how to push buttons.
This is like the Britney sex uproar.
Right, but it's kind of two issues that we're talking about. The first one is the song that's overtly about sex. Then there's the issue of it's written by a convicted pedophile.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's a double whammy.
Well, I kind of think they were mostly upset about the pedophile part because at the end of the show, what was the one that about the pie? The song that Emma sang.
Oh, Afternoon Delight.
Afternoon Delight. Yeah. You know, that song.
Yeah, it's definitely not about the content. I mean, everything's sexualized on the show anyway. I mean, it's just about, is it right? Is the fact that Gary Glitter was the original performer and that he's a pedophile, does that mean that they should have chosen a different song? Right. I would have understood if they did. Having done it at the same time, I don't know, like it's a kind of what do you think, Tam? Like, do you think? It's grey, isn't it?
I'm really at 6s and 7s about it. I'm not interested in giving money to this guy who's a pedophile. Clearly, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I don't know where that line is. Where you do draw the line of, you know, if you were a tax evader, if you were, you know, I mean, you can even talk about, you know, the crimes that rappers who live, you know, a relatively
yeah, that's right. You know,
on the fringes of the law life, a lot of them, or at least they claim to. You know, so where again, you know, if a guy has murdered somebody, comes back, should we be buying his music? Should we not be seeing
it on Glee? What do you think?
You know, I think there's a lot of other songs out there that say "Touch Me" or whatever. They could have picked another song.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, although Glitter's obviously a sleazy, you know, freak who should be doing his time. I wonder if there's a way. I mean, I want to know who, like, where the money does go for his royalties these days. Is he, you know,
He's not in jail. He's not from what I read.
Yeah, so he's collecting royalties for it probably. But at the same time, it's also like a great piece of music from a certain era that is kind of that I really like that they kind of access that, but then, you know, any Zeppelin song, I suppose, or any David Bowie song, and you kind of doing the same thing.
Exactly, could have hit the same note.
So, as I think, Jesse, you're right. I think that it probably is a little bit difficult to think that they didn't think of this happening, because they've got so many great minds working behind every decision they make on this show, especially in this kind of acutely aware of everything in this area. I'm sure they did understand the risk.
But I don't want to believe that. I mean, I don't want to believe that they just went, you know, it's all right, it'll be fine. You know, I just don't want to believe that either the legal team or the producers or somebody didn't go, you know, nobody's going to notice.
I don't think I don't think it's possible. Surely they went, this is going to stir up some stuff. Let's go with it.
But
that's just awful.
Paul,
we're talking about it now.
Yeah, I know. But did y'all know this when we saw it, or Catherine made it obvious to us? I mean, did you know all that background
about Gary Glitter? Yeah, I did. I didn't know. I didn't. You know, like once we got into discussing it, it was like one of those things. I was like,
see, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know who Gary Glitter is.
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
I write that song.
that is the other thing. I mean, his case was probably not really that well remembered throughout the United States.
No.
And you could actually say that it's a piece of performance art that is out in the world, and anyone is able to do a cover of it. And if the people at Child Campaigning Parents and Friends Association Mark 5 or whatever it is now had just shut their mouths, no one would have known.
No.
It's an interesting one. I'm actually undecided on it.
Yeah.
And I guess that brings us.
All right. Well, we want to thank Catherine again for that little piece of
shout out to you, Catherine.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you in the AfterBuzz studio very shortly. And that's your AfterBuzz TV Glee news and gossip for the week of March 15, 2011.
Right. And so we come to predictions. Okay. So what did we see? What did we see was going to be happening next week? Do you recall?
It didn't really sound
didn't give it too much.
Exciting to me.
Yeah, but we are on the road to the Nationals.
It's a break though, right? We're coming back in April.
Yeah, how long's the break? Do we know, Jess? Is that like we got
next
a couple
week?
of weeks? It's on next week, isn't it? Or do we now have like 4 weeks off or 5 weeks off? We'll find out and get back to you on that.
There's a whole thing with Holly and Mr. Schuster.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's coming back. Their love affair.
Their budding relationship, which was referenced just when he was on the phone to her, and she was in the steam room.
At
an ashram.
I thought that was kind of forced. That whole thing.
I wasn't sure.
They're like, you know, I thought the kids were going to say something, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And then we've got, Sue. She's in there and she's trying to get everybody to, go against Dr.
Oh,
Schuster,
yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And his ex-wife is back.
To derail the Nationals.
Terry's going to be back. That will be interesting.
And we will be back April 12th.
April 12th.
Oh, good.
And actually, I kind of have a little spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
They will be doing a song. What was our straight male who got in the fight with Kurt?
Spoiler alert!
That turned out to be gay.
Football player.
Football
player, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He will be coming out to the song Born This Way by Lady Gaga.
No way.
And they actually titled the, not next episode, the episode after that, Born This Way. And that will be his...
I cannot wait. Yes.
He's coming out of the closet, the big bully.
And he's going to sing. We haven't heard him sing, have we?
He claims that this is going to be his actual Lady Gaga Queen moment.
Have you seen that video? Everybody out there, have you seen this video?
No, I haven't yet.
She's literally in bra and panties the whole video.
Giving birth to a caterpillar.
Lady Gaga, hey?
Okay.
She's really got it. Well, it will be interesting. The road to the Nationals, well, we'll see. There's all sorts of things. Will Quinn get Finn? Will Rachel get
Will Kurt
Finn?
come back?
Will Kurt come back?
Yeah.
How will he come back?
Yeah.
Will he come back as a guest of the New Directions, or will he come back to the school after leaving the Warblers? Will he and Blaine stay
together? And how will that
together?
affect their relationship?
It's all ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. It's very exciting, and that brings us to the end of the show, AfterBuzz TV for Glee Season 2, Episode 16, Original Song. Thanks, Tam. Thanks, Kat. Thanks,
so
Jesse in the Perspex booth.
Let's do it together. Mwah! Oh!
Thanks, Buzz. Thanks, Buzz, for being here.
Bothered over here.
Thanks to all of you for listening in or watching on Ustream. This is AfterBuzz TV. It's been great to see you. For Glee, we'll see you back here on April the 14th or whatever the date was that Jesse just said. Rewind the podcast if you...
And thanks to Paul Ashton for being the best Glee host ever.
It's been real, people. It's been real. We'll see you in a few weeks. Bye.
For producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions, comments, or would like to host an AfterBuzz show of your own, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.